Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sniz Fantasy Football YouTube channel. I'm your host, Matthew Woody, and I'm here with Jack and Trent. How are we doing, guys?
Pretty good. How about yourself, Jack?
I'm doing well, just enjoying this 4th of July weekend here, ready to talk some fantasy football.
Yes, sir. You'll be hearing this today on 4th of July, but this will get out much later as we don't have Austin here today. We miss you, buddy.
R.I.P. Some.
Also, happy birthday to America.
Yes, sir. And today we're going to be talking about our sleeper quarterbacks for 2020. Let's go ahead and get started. I think the most obvious sleeper in fantasy football this year is Matthew Stafford for sure.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, being drafted as the quarterback 13 behind guys like Rodgers and Wentz. I can't believe it. Honestly, a guy that's going to be in this system that throws the ball a ton, 36.4 attempts per game last year, 6.9 deep balls a game. These are just some stats that just show you that Stafford is the guy.
And you look at those weapons with Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones, T.J. Hawkinson, DeAndre Swift.
Kerryon Johnson.
Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah.
Stafford can just stay healthy. Top 5 potential all year long.
For sure, I agree 100%. I mean, this is a guy you can get later than the 10th round in your drafts. I mean, it has still written all over it this year. Sleeper, all over it. I'm here for it. I'm one of the highest guys in the group on him in my rankings. He's currently my 10th QB.
Right outside the top 10 for me.
Same.
Yeah. I mean, last year he was 4th in points per game in PPR. That's
outstanding.
Yes, outstanding for sure. Let's go on. Who do you have next?
I got Kirk Cousins. He had 444 attempts last year, averaging about 30 attempts per game. I mean, he in a run heavy offense. I think really the play action pass is going to be his go-to play.
Just don't start him on Monday Night Football.
Oh, no, do not. He always chokes Monday nights. But
I agree with this pick here. I think Kirk Cousins is a very safe option. He has one of the safer floors of the quarterbacks we're going to be talking about today. But
very
his upside,
accurate.
I'd say his upside is limited, like you said, from the run-heavy offense. But he is a sleeper because he's being drafted as where?
His ADP is 28.
Wow.
So, I see him ending in the year at about, maybe late teens, like an 18 or possibly.
If I'm not mistaken, last year he finished as 13.
Yeah, that's right.
He's just very consistent.
He's not a name brand type of guy. It's not a name that's going to pop out to you when you draft Kirk Cousins, but
you definitely feel safe with Kirk with your QB1 on a bye week, throwing Kirk in there for a week. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm completely comfortable with Kirk.
For sure.
I love that line. I mean, even though they did lose Diggs, he still got Thielen.
Added Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson's one of the best rookie wide receivers. I cannot stress that enough to everybody.
Yeah.
This dude has been working, grinding. Almost every player has, but Justin Jefferson's a different animal, man. He's set up to succeed very early out of all the wide receivers in the draft class this year. One of my favorites, though, is Jalen Reagor, but we're not going to be talking about him today. But Justin Jefferson is definitely set up to succeed, and he has upside to be the
fill that void of Stephon Diggs just off
completely.
gate if he really wants to.
He'll bring a different type of emotion into the locker room too. That's not
him
toxic.
And Thielen will bounce off each other.
I think this helps Thielen a little bit, but I still think Thielen's a risky pick. But who else do we have here?
So my top sleeper, a little bit of a hot take here. I've got Baker Mayfield, and I think we all know. Rookie year. Very solid, a lot of hype. The Browns had all the hype in the world going into the 2019 season and just fluttered away. We saw Baker in 2019 finish with 3,800 yards, 22 touchdowns, 21 interceptions, which, by the way, was the second worst in the league behind Jameis Winston. Finished with a 52.4 QPR. That was good for 19th in the league. I'm going to go ahead and say I personally believe last year was a little bit of a fluke for Baker. I think the hype around the Browns kind of got to him a little bit.
Of course.
But we look at what they've done this offseason. Upgrading the offensive line. One of the biggest reasons Baker struggled was because he was pressured so much last year. We saw them go out in free agency, bring in Jack Coughlin from Tennessee, and draft Jedrick Wills with the 10th overall pick in the draft. We also
saw amazing picks, by the way.
We also saw them add tight end Austin Hooper from Atlanta. And then we all know what Odell and Jarvis can do on the outside.
Absolutely.
And then you look, they probably arguably one of the best two-headed run game approach in the league with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
And Kareem Hunt can add that little safety, on the outside, catching little underneath passes.
The weapons are there. The offensive line is there. They got Freddie Kitchens out, Kevin Stefanski in.
One of the better upgrades at head coach for the Browns I've seen in a while.
And I think this is a make it or break it year for Baker, and I think he knows it. If he doesn't succeed this year, we could see the Browns moving on from him. And personally, I mean, if you look at it, Baker was one of the top quarterbacks taken last year. Some people were taking him in first round.
Well, in our draft, he was taken 7th overall.
Yes. Now I'm not advising that. Again, he is a sleeper.
No, absolutely not.
But I think you could definitely see high potential for Baker this year. I think he's one of my favorite picks this year, and I've got no problem drafting him in the.
Where do you have him ranked?
He's probably QB. He's right there, maybe QB 12. QB, somewhere there.
I think last year was humbling for him, though.
It was. He humbled him.
Look,
it's really going to put him in his place this year.
I see your upside here, Jack. I do. But I don't have Baker high as 12. I don't have him as high as 12. I have him at 16th in my rankings. That's just because, he's not the safest pick, but he's one at his ADP, you're going to be getting
at his current ADP.
A possible steal.
Absolutely. And again, he's a great fit if you've drafted, say you take a Mahomes or a Lamar, and think about Baker's your backup to come in and fill in for him. I mean, I love Baker going forward, so
I don't see myself grabbing Mahomes or Lamar this year in the second round. As much as I've came to it and thought about it, that running back strategy this year, it's so thin.
The running backs are thin.
So thin.
Yeah. They run out so quick.
If you're not getting a running
back
in the first...
the guy that wants to wait on quarterbacks now.
I mean, you can get Matthew Stafford in the
this is what this is all about, guys.
TB12.
But you can also get Baker in the later rounds,
TB12.
Hey, that's another topic for another day.
Sure. I think another sleeper we have here is Big Ben Roethlisberger. Coming off of injury, one of the most pass-heavy teams in 2018 with AB and Juju
Similar situation as Matthew Stafford had last year.
Of course, yes. Exactly. This QB puts up volume every single week he's in the game. Like I said, in 2018, his team led the league in pass attempts in 2018 with Big Ben under center. His injury concern really isn't a problem with 10th round ADP, wouldn't you say? It's
as a backup,
low risk, high reward type guy after finishing QB2 in 2018. I mean, and the weapons he has there, it just shows you that they're setting up to pass the ball a lot again in 2020. Yes, they were a run heavy last year, but they had to be with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph. But, like I said, they're setting them up to succeed in the pass game in 2020 with Deontay Johnson, the drafting of Chase Claypool, big man.
I like Chase Claypool.
Juju's coming back. Juju's set for a bounce back season. I love Juju in 2020. Don't even get me started there. Eric Ebron signing. That just shows you that they want Big Ben, and they still trust that Big Ben can throw the ball, and they still have James Conner.
Big Ben also loves his tight ends. Like, remember Jesse James.
Vance McDonald.
Yeah. He always likes to go to them.
Vance is still there.
Little two tight end set, maybe.
I don't really trust Ebron as much as the rest of the pieces around the offense, but Big Ben, it doesn't matter. Big Ben's throwing it to people.
Yeah. Absolutely. Trent, who you got?
I got Gardner Minshew as my second sleeper. And, I mean, he had 470 attempts, averaging 34 a game. And the thing I like about it is the Jags are more than likely going to be down in points this year. They're going to be trailing in a lot of games, forcing him to throw the ball and go away from Leonard Fournette. And whenever he does throw the ball, he had 21 touchdowns through 17 weeks and only 6 interceptions, which that really surprised me. I honestly thought
for a rookie to protect the ball well.
Also, I mean, I agree with this pick 100%. Where's his ADP? Do you know?
I think it was Kirk Cousins was 23 and his was Gardner Minshew.
Yeah,
was 28.
I remember we accidentally said that Kirk Cousins' ADP was a 28. That's actually
it was 21.
21 and Gardner Minshew's at 28.
Yeah.
This makes this even better for Gardner. QB 28, you're talking about a guy. Look, DJ Chark and Laviska Shenault, people can hate Laviska Shenault all they want, but that man can ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's raw potential.
For sure. I mean, they're going to suck, and we all know that, but what does that add up to? Game script. He's going to be throwing the Jags back into the game or throwing them out of the game in some games, but Gardner Minshew can do it.
He can also run it. He can also tuck it and run into the end
He
zone.
had
He's
over
very
300
athletic.
300 yards
over
on the legs.
300
He
yards
didn't have a touchdown,
and
but
without
I would
a
say
touchdown.
that would change this year.
I would say he's going to get around 3 touchdowns on the ground.
He's
something
sneaky
like that.
fast.
Sneaky fast, yes.
Sneaky
He's very elusive. He knows how to get away from a tackle.
I liked your
like
point.
the play in Denver when he escaped the pocket.
Yes.
Escaped multiple sacks and threw a touchdown. Wow.
Yes. I love the point Trent made about them being down in a lot of games because we all know the Jags possibly could be the worst team in the league next year, so they are going to be trailing a lot, and it's just going to give Minshew more opportunities to sling the ball downfield, which in turn is going to give you more fantasy points.
Yes, game script all the way.
Absolutely.
Also, he did have 7 fumbles lost, but I see him bouncing back this year, protecting the ball a little bit more. And, he averages about 16 fantasy points a game last year. I could see him averaging 18, 17.
The interceptions surprised me. I did not know he was that low on interceptions.
Yeah. Now, his completion rate is not the best. It's about 6.
What was his QBR? We read off player profile.
His QBR is... It was like a 40, 42.
Yeah.
It was
but that
very
surprised
bad.
me with those stats. How's that possible?
Well, it goes off completion rate.
QBR is so many variables that go into a QBR.
Yeah, that's a quarterback rating.
I feel like it's a false stat sometimes. I really do.
Yeah, I mean,
feel like it is.
The people that get better QBRs are like guys like Tom Brady, who are like a true quarterback, pocket passers, and people who go out the pocket and create plays more, or they don't get as high as a QBR.
For sure. Guys, be sure to like and subscribe, if you want more content, and tell us what's going on. And what kind of content would you like to see coming up next from the guys over here at the Sniz crew? There's one more sleeper, though, that we have. And this is a guy it's actually being hyped up a lot right now. I'm not as high on him. We all know who it is. The new signing quarterback, Cam Newton, and the New England Patriots.
Yes,
what are our thoughts here? We need to talk about this.
We do.
I think.
I think Cam... I'm not saying we're going to see 2015.
And you're a Panthers fan.
Yeah, I am a Panthers fan.
Let's hear this, Jack. I want to hear a full analysis.
I'm in no way saying that we're going to see the version of Cam we saw in 2015 when he went on the Super Bowl run and was MVP of the league. But I also think he's had a lot of time to heal. Okay, he's had a lot of time to rehab, and we all know Bill Belichick, greatest coach in the history of the game. I don't think we all agree there.
John Madden.
Okay. We'll talk about that later.
He's one of them.
That's a different
conversation. That's a different conversation.
Okay. Anyways, we know Bill's Bill.
Cam gives you the element of where, I don't think he's going to be running as much as we've seen just because he is getting a little more up there. I think he's what? 31, okay. Again, and then he does have a lack of weapons there. I think Julian Edelman, he just shot up draft boards because I definitely love Cam more than I do Jarrett Stidham, and I think we can all agree on that. N'Keal Harry, he missed 8 games last year and then really struggled even when he got back in. Maybe we see a resurgence from him. Maybe sophomore season. Maybe we get a little bit.
He's right outside my top 50. He's not someone I'm looking to target, but he's last round pick. Sure.
I'm going to be honest. I personally love Cam Newton from being a Panthers fan. But fantasy-wise, I don't see a whole lot of potential there. Mohamed Sanu looked like he's running with a piano on his back last year. What do you guys think?
I think maybe Josh Gordon could sign with the Patriots. There are some talks, but if he signs there, then that majorly spikes Cam Newton's upside. But Cam is 31. He's coming off a shoulder surgery. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to make plays with his legs like he was in 2015, like you said,
Interesting
Jack.
stat. I seen this stat actually from my guy Nick, BDG Fantasy Football. He said that there has been only 4 quarterbacks, I'm pretty sure, that have ran for over 500 yards past the age of 31.
Yeah.
Only 4.
Very difficult. And again, I think it's going to be a culture shock for Cam, going from Carolina, where he was the man, he was the face of the franchise, he was the man in Charlotte, to going to the culture of New England, where they don't give that kind of gratitude. It's a team thing. It's not Cam, it's team.
He's going to have to fit into their system Carolina, they built around him.
Boom or bust situation here for Cam.
It is.
Because there's also another stat via Sleeper that said Cam Newton when playing full season, has never finished outside the top 5 fantasy quarterbacks. That shows his upside.
Can he stay healthy, though, is the real question. Because we know Cam has a real problem with staying healthy.
Yeah. His injury risk is high. Very high. I'll go ahead and tell you that. His re-injury risk is high. There's no doubt about that.
And the offensive line is decent in New England. It's definitely not as good as it has been in years past. They will get their center back, David Andrews, who missed all of last year. They will get him back, and then they did put the franchise tag on Tooney, I believe it. So the offensive line's decent up there, but again, I'm not high on Cam going into 2020. But kind of like what he said, I mean, he could boom.
He's currently my quarterback 19.
There's just really no. We'll just have to wait and see, to be honest. But again, from Jack's perspective, not very high on Cam.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that.
I agree.
Yeah. He's definitely got the upside though. So, guys, that's the end of our Sleeper Quarterback episode. Be sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and comment new ideas for future videos.
Peace.